Good morning, Dirtfish Rally friends. I'm just taking in the beautiful countryside, the burbling brook, little wishing well, and behind us here, some really very rather lovely old BMWs, and maybe about, I don't know, 3 million euros worth of rally cars, 4 maybe, I don't know. Look at this, isn't this rather lovely? An old, I don't know what that is, an early 90s, late 80s probably, isn't it? BMW 318, beautiful thing next door to it. Well, he's left his window open, which is never good, but that boy's left his roof off, which is catastrophic. Catastrophic. There we go, folks. Final day of Rally Croatia. 4 stages ahead of us today. We've come to the north of Zagreb. A little bit different in terms of the look and the feel. I think the roads are very similar. They're tight, they're twisty, they're challenging. They will get rather muddy as well. But it's a glorious morning. Hardly a cloud in the sky. A little bit chilly. 7 or 8 degrees earlier on. It's going to rapidly pick up by the time the final stage gets underway. 21, maybe 22 degrees out here in the countryside. Nice and dry, a little bit of dew about, a little bit of dampness around. Let's see Thierry Neuville. Let's chase him down. Good morning, Thierry Neuville. Great to see you back out this morning. Can we go back to yesterday? You've had a little bit of time to analyse what happened. Did you discover anything more?
Yeah, I basically brake slightly late. I think a half a meter would be fine, but and I enter in the cut and I lock up both inside wheels. So the rear stepped out and then it was gone.
These margins that you guys operate to are almost beyond comprehension for us mere mortals. You know, to be able to pick your braking points to within 50 centimetres on every corner and get it right just about every time, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean that's part of our job, obviously, and most of the time it works well. But sometimes, small mistake with huge consequence. Sometimes we get away with it. You know, we have seen many drivers hitting barriers and other stuff yesterday. That's part of the rallying. But obviously, on the emotional plan, it's very disappointing for us as a team. However, we carry on, and the thing we're gonna take with us from this weekend is that we still need to work on the tarmac performance. We are not where we should be, and obviously driving on the edge to try to follow up and keep the others behind, you make some mistakes.
Yeah, you do. Well, listen, hopefully we'll have a clean run out there today. And what are the stages like today, Thierry? They are very similar, aren't they? We're in a different part of the country, but similar stages?
Yeah, I mean the power stage obviously is the most challenging out of the weekend. Due to his profile. But I mean, we have only one target today. He's taking some points from it. We tried some completely different settings, so we don't know what to expect. But we have to take this opportunity as well to try and improve, because obviously neither me or Lappi were feeling very comfortable this weekend.
Well, good luck with that power stage. We'll see you later on.
Thank you.
Oh, he's always a gentleman, Thierry Neuville, isn't he? Always gives us a few minutes. That's interesting. So they've gone with a little bit maybe of a gamble in terms of the setup. I don't expect to see too much from Thierry through the first 3 stages of the morning. He'll be looking after those tires. Very relaxed. Kalle Rovanperä. Good morning, Kalle Rovanperä. That power stage last year clearly is one you look back on with fond memories. But Thierry saying there, maybe the most challenging stage of the rally.
Yeah, usually it is. The condition is also so tricky that it's the most narrow and technical one, plus full of dirt, so it's really tricky.
Listen, it was an early start this morning. You boys were up very, very early. At breakfast, you take a little bit of breakfast before you come out, a little bit of coffee maybe?
Yeah, you have to eat something. We are the whole day here, but it's not so easy to eat at 5 a.m.
I eat chocolate at 5 a.m. It's a terrible thing. Best of luck, Kalle Rovanperä. Here we go. Look, I do love this. Rallying is such a wonderful sport. You know, Thierry and Takasan there watching the onboards. Takasan yesterday was watching his own onboards from 2 years ago. To remind him, who is this? Ogier's onboard, sorry, from 2 years ago. Who have we got here? I'm not sure who this is. 17, 19, 2022. Rovanperä. He's watching Calle's. He's watching your onboards, Kalle. Is that allowed? He's watching your onboards from last year.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he can do that.
Yeah, it is. We mentioned this yesterday. It has changed so much the last 4 or 5 years. I remember a time, not so many years ago, maybe 10, 11 years ago, where Sebastian Loeb had blitzed everyone in Corsica. And I remember Jari-Matti Latvala coming to us after the rally saying, how do I get hold of his onboards? I want to know how Sebastian Loeb does it. 10 years ago, you couldn't, but now look at it. You know, the boys standing watching onboards, you can pick them, anyone's onboards, from just about any rally. Let's wander through. There's Jonny. Always good to speak to Jonny, or to say hello to him in the morning. Good morning, Jonny Holteren. How are you feeling this morning?
Pretty nice, pretty nice. I'm not watching videos like the others, but
You guys don't really have to watch the videos. Do you kind of maybe have a little look through the pace notes though before you go in?
yeah, and if I was different kind of videos.
It's too early on a Sunday for that, Jonny. And best of luck today. There we go. Right, let's go and have a look at Pierre-Louis Loubet. Now, we had a lot of debate, and we'll wait till Tanak comes in to have a look at his tyres. Those red arrows and the yellow markers on the valves, on the valve caps. We don't have the red markers on Pierre-Louis Loubet's tyres. A lot of debate, and I'll go through the answers to that debate from yesterday a bit later on. We'll say a quick hello to Pierre-Louis Loubet. Bonjour, mon ami. No, don't worry. No, you're busy boys. We don't like to interrupt you at all. How are you feeling this morning, Pierre-Louis?
Yeah, okay. Listen, we'll try to enjoy. It's been a clean rally for the moment for us, so I want to keep like that and keep the confidence for what is coming.
Yeah, it was a long day yesterday, an early start this morning. Did you get plenty of sleep?
Yeah. We are like a bakery worker, you know?
We are up early every morning. I tried to find a bakery this morning and failed. I had to buy those.
Even too early for them.
But do you know what? And it'll be absolutely the worst thing for a Frenchman. Those long life croissants, the ones that, you know, are in a bag for 7 or 8 days. That's what, yeah, exactly. You're pulling that face. Not the best, are they?
Yeah, for sure. But I'm sorry, my friend, but you are a cliché. We don't eat always croissant. You prefer croissant than me, for sure.
Well, do you know what? Everyone tells me because I'm a Scotsman, I must drink whiskey. It's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing. When I will come to your home, I will say, where is the whiskey? You tell me no, we'll be super disappointed. It's the same if you do the same at home.
When you come to my house, I will make you a cup of tea, but I will have a very special little whiskey for you as well.
Okay, so I remember.
Next time it comes back to GB, which could be a long time. It could be a long... I'm going to say hello to Nicholas again. He's always very busy. I'm just going to say hello to you, Nico.
Hello. How are you? All right.
Très bien, merci. Et toi?
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Always good to see you. Busy boy. Co-drivers are always busy. You know, we mentioned that with, you know, obviously Taka-san and Callie watching the videos, and Jonny said, I don't have time to watch videos. They've got quite a lot to do, checking tyre pressures. There's a lot of preparation in this little quiet time. Well, it is quiet until I turn up normally. Then it gets a little noisier. A little bit noisier. So there we are. Terry Neuville getting himself ready, heading off. It is astonishing, isn't it? It is astonishing. In a quiet little corner of Croatia. Maybe 4 million euros worth of cars just parked up on a gravel drive in front of a few really quite impressive earth movers. Couple of old but very desirable BMWs. Our Dacia Duster, which is highly desirable, quite clearly. Highly desirable. Aaron Johnson, we'll just say a very quick morning to Aaron as well, because I know he loves saying good morning to me. I just want to say good morning, Aaron. Good morning, mate.
It wouldn't be a good morning if I didn't get talking to you.
That is correct. I do like you at times. You say the right things. You really do. Best of luck today, mate.
Thanks, Colin.
There we go. Aaron Johnson, lovely lad. Taka-san still watching those videos. Just, you know, it's like anything. Just that little bit of extra familiarity with the stage. Just a little reminder of maybe those 1 or 2 little sections that are a touch nadgery that you've got to put a little bit of extra effort into. Now, Rovanperä doing his exercises. Stretching, limbering. Getting those muscles warmed up before he heads into the stage. There we are, Terry Neuville. After his issues yesterday morning, Neuville first into the stage. There we are, we've talked to all our boys here. We will wait and see whether anyone else turns up before they head into the opening stage of the morning. Welcome back, folks. We've come a little bit further, actually back along the road section to pick up Esa-Pekka Lappi. He was just changing the tyres there just as we turned up. That does happen occasionally, changing the wheels around. Sometimes it's to do with the time in the evening. Sometimes it's to do with information that the drivers get on the way to the stage. You might wonder why they don't do it in service. Well, you know, the best time to do it is just before they head into the stage, I guess. Esa-Pekka, changing the rotation on the tyres around. Reason for that? Any reason in particular?
Yeah, the rear tire is harder to warm up, so you know I warm up the tire and then I put it now on the rear and now I warm up again. So
That's fascinating. Really, thank you very much. That's an insight. There we are. So it's just about warming the tyres up and getting heat into the tyres. That really is interesting. And it takes you what to change the tyres around? 4 or 5 minutes
no
maximum? Not even that.
Yeah, no. If you want to do it quickly, I guess 3 minutes.
These boys are good, aren't they? How are you feeling this morning, Esa-Pekka? A big day ahead, obviously. It's been a really strong weekend for you when you look at the overall picture.
Yeah, I mean it's sunny. It looks beautiful, so let's enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely, let's enjoy it. Absolutely right. That's fascinating, isn't it? So it's all about warming the tyres up. Difficult to get heat into the rear tyres, so you put them on the front, you warm them up for a bit, you then swap them back again before you go into the stage. It's a lot of work, but that's rally drivers for you. You know, they don't shy away from hard work, do they? It's a lot of work. So he's come out with the setup that he wants for the stage, but in order to get the heat into the tyres, swap them around before you go into the stage. It's interesting, they must retain heat for some time, these tyres, to do that. I suppose anything extra. That's Ogier doing exactly that, putting that heat into those front tyres. That's how they do it. Goodness me. Again, that is a skill, a talent. Don't try that at home, that's for sure. But it's a skill and a talent that not many people have to be able to control a car like that. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to head on a little bit. We're going to leave Esa-Pekka and Yanni Pham to their devices, and we'll head on and see if we can catch up with maybe Sebastian Ogier, more importantly, perhaps Oyt Tanak and our rally leader, Elvin Evans. Martin Järveoja and Oyt Tanak. Now, yesterday, a lot of debate provoked by this red arrow. Now, it is, as far as I can establish, only on Oyt's car. The red arrow to the yellow dust cap on the valve. We've still had a number. Lappy heading to the opening stage of the day. A number of explanations. Okay, so one of the explanations is the explanation I had, purely to help identify, and we think that's maybe the yellow dust cap, to identify quickly where the valve is. The big question is over this, the red arrow. Now, it looks as if maybe the most credible option is to check slippage, because the tyre slips through the loop of stages. So you start there, and then you check the slippage. So if your arrow ends up there after a loop of stages, it tells you where it slipped to. He's laughing at me. The other option, we will get a proper answer to this. The other option is apparently to do with wheel balance. So apparently the valve here adds a minute extra amount of weight to the tyre. So this here, in the construction of the tyre, is the lightest part. So you line up the lightest part with the lightest part of the tyre, heaviest part of the rim, and it helps with wheel balance. So that's three options. There's slippage, there's balance, and there's purely identification. I've not had a clear answer on what is correct. I'm not even sure the boys know exactly what the reason is. But we'll keep this one going. We will keep this one going. What we'll do on the next rally, the next tarmac rally, we'll get an answer in service when they have more time. We'll maybe get someone from Pirelli to come and explain to us what's going on. Now, oh my word, look, boys, is this a little worry? A little bit of oil under here, quite a lot of oil.
It's good. It means that there is oil in actually.
Rather than yesterday where there was no oil, it does mean there's plenty of oil.
Yeah, exactly, it's good.
Is that just overfilled oil? Yeah, we don't have to worry about that. But look at that. You can see look at this here, at the back of the wheel arch there, the splatter. I tell you. Yeah, when he says it's good, yesterday they ran out, I think, or there was some sort of problem with hydraulics, wasn't there? That's quite a lot. Look at, so the rear wheel arches, you might say, well, that's a bit of water. That's not water on the back of the wheel arch, that's oil. That's a nice clean wheel arch. Let's have a look here. But there's a breather under there. What happens, and I used to see it a lot at the end of the opening stage in rallies, they overfill a lot of the fluids in the engine, and they have breathers, so you want a little bit too much rather than a little bit too little, and it basically regulates itself. And at the stop line end of the first stage, the pressures are high. Any extra fluids are then discharged through the breather. Maybe that's a bit of that, but I don't know, because that's a little pool of oil. It's not normal to see pools of oil under the cars before the start of the stage. I'm not being too dramatic. I wasn't in the slightest bit bothered by it, not in the slightest. So I shouldn't get bothered by it, but it's certainly not normal. How about Elliot? Elliot, come here. Pull of oil, trail of oil, trail of oil, trail of oil, more oil, still trailing, still dripping it. I don't know. He wasn't in the slightest bit bothered, but is that something we should look out for this morning? Probably. There we are, folks. Great day ahead of us. 4 stages. Maybe the trickiest stage of the day, the power stage. That's the second stage this morning, the final stage of the loop as well. Nothing can be taken for granted here in Croatia. Last day. Will we see more drama? Dirtfish.com, the place to find out.